What's up everybody, Super Dorks fan here for Mini Weekly Update number 21 on this Friday. So once again, I'm not in the Mini this week, and that's just because I just wanted to talk to you guys on camera here, look at the camera instead of driving and multitasking, because I just want to give an update on the campaign. There's nothing new with the Mini anyway, so no point in really driving it and doing it with all the road noise and stuff. So I just want to give an update on the campaign, like I said. Thank you guys so much for all of you that have been so supportive and donated, and just the people that you don't even have to donate. You're just supportive, and I really appreciate that too. So I think as of the time of me filming this, we're just under $3,900, which is well over halfway to our goal. And we still have 25 days to go, so plenty of time to reach the goal. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully we'll reach it. I just want to address a few of the hater comments. I know because this past weekend was kind of rough for me with all the negativity. But one thing that I did notice was that most of the negative commenters were people that I don't recognize their usernames. I mean, I read every comment that I get on every video, and I know which usernames are regular commenters and stuff. And most of the negative people are people I've never seen on any of my videos before in the past. And so I don't know where these haters came from, but they all came out of the woodwork to say mean things and stuff and assume that they knew about me and my situation. And they kind of just prejudged me, which kind of sucks, and said a lot of mean things that weren't true about me. And that always is kind of tough, but being on YouTube, I've learned to grow a thicker skin because I get negative comments from time to time, but getting that many in one weekend was pretty tough. But I want to just reiterate that I could do the financially responsible thing and drive a beater. I just don't think that would be very interesting for you guys to watch. And a lot of people said do like everyone else does and save money and just drive a beater in the meantime. But what a lot of people don't realize, that I think people are overlooking, is that not everybody films a car show in their car every week. Every week I'm setting up my camera and filming inside of my car, and so I want it to be a car that's entertaining for you guys, and that's why I want to have something that's nicer. I mean, yes, if I wanted to save the most money and move out of my parents' house as soon as possible, I would drive a $500 beater. But I just want to keep you guys entertained. Obviously, I don't want to drive a beater either, but it's something that I would drive a cheaper car if I didn't do this thing. And so this whole weekly update, I think, is valuable, and I think you guys really enjoy it, and I don't want to stop them. And I mean, just with the Mini, I've seen how much it's gone down, and I want to bring the life back to the weekly updates. And so that's my whole motivation behind this. So yeah, I'm still, like I said, I'm optimistic. I'm hoping that we reach it, I'm thankful. I'm focusing on the positives because I know most of you, the people that I recognize commenting on the videos every week, are all mostly supportive. So I thank you guys so much for that. It really means so much. I know there's more important causes to donate to, so if you have to choose between donating to cancer and donating to the fund for the Mustang, definitely donate to cancer. There's better causes to donate for, but my whole thing is people pay for entertainment all the time. So if you're spending money on entertainment, renting videos or doing whatever, then that's why I don't feel bad doing this FundAnything campaign. But I mean, if you're comparing to donating to charity, obviously donating to charity is a much better idea than donating to the FundAnything campaign. I'll be the first to admit that. I don't want to take any charity money away, so please donate to charity. If you have extra money left over, then donate to the campaign, but I'm totally fine. I just like I said, I appreciate your guys' support, whether or not we make the goal. Like I said, I'll find some other car or do something else. Obviously, I just thought this would be a cool idea. You guys suggested the EcoBoost Mustang, and I think that we'll make it. I still think that we will do, what we set out to do, and it'll all be good. But it's all good either way, regardless. We'll keep going with the videos, still be doing awesome car reviews, and all that good stuff. But yeah, so just wanted to give you guys an update. Like I said, it's still going strong, and yeah, so we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that we make it. Right, so for this week's news, the first thing is that Kia wants to do a 5-door hatchback like an A7 or a Porsche Panamera. And so I don't know why Kia wants to get into this business. I guess because they did the K900, that was their flagship. They're going after the Germans. They want to do everything the Germans are doing. So, I don't know. I don't know how well all these high-end Kias are going to sell. I'd like to look at the K900 sales and see if they're doing really well. But apparently Kia thinks they have a place in the luxury market. So, more power to them, but that's what they're planning. That was a news story that came out this week. Another news story that I'm kind of scratching my head at is Audi has said that they're considering doing an Audi TT crossover, because you know this past week I talked about the four-door TT that they did the concept. It looked pretty good. I still don't know what's wrong with, you know, the A4 or the A6 or the A7 or the A8, but they're doing a TT sedan, it looks like, and so it says that they're considering making like an all-road version of that and just lifting it up. Again, don't see the point of that, but hey, Audi just seems like they want to do a million variations of every car, and so that looks like that's what we're going to be seeing next. And it's some more interesting news from Audi. As we all know, they're developing the next generation of the R8, and for next year they're going to be coming out with the new R8. It's coming out next year, and so 2015 is not that far away at this point. Very excited to see the production version. But the interesting thing is there's a report saying that they're still not confirmed, but they're thinking that there's going to be some kind of hybrid system in the next R8. So it's going to mostly use the Huracan, whatever you want to pronounce it. It's going to use that powertrain, but they're saying that it's also going to have this hybrid technology similar to the Porsche 918 and stuff like that, where it'll have like an EV range of 200 miles or something like that, and you know, give the car more performance. So it could actually outperform the Huracan, actually. I mean, it's going to be pretty crazy because the R8 should be cheaper than the Huracan, but it's going to be very interesting to see. But they're saying that there could be a full-on just only electric car. There could be the e-hybrid, and then they could do just the standard R8 with probably a couple engines, probably the V8 again and the V10. So this will be a wide variety of R8s to choose from when they come out next year, but very interesting to hear about the hybrid one. In other cheaper supercar news, Acura, they're still developing the NSX. I thought it was done like last year, and then they went back to the drawing board, and then the one caught fire at the Nürburgring this past year. And they're saying that now, I don't know if they're increasing the performance of it, but basically they want to go after the Ferrari 458, and they want to do it for half the price. So they're saying they're targeting a price of around 130 grand for the Acura NSX, but they're saying they'll do a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds, which would be pretty impressive, and obviously be right up there with the 458. And so I mean, they're saying there could be a hotter version of the NSX coming eventually, as well as in addition to maybe an additional like full-on electric version or something like that. So lots of great stuff, but it looks like they're saying it's going to be a 2016 model, so it will come out next year, finally. So we've been waiting forever for this new NSX, so very excited to see that it'll be out next year. And another sports car news around the same price range, Porsche just unveiled the 911 GTS this past week. It has a starting price of $114,200, and it has, you know, the wider body from the Carrera 4, additional power, and it's probably going to sound amazing because if you've heard the Boxster GTS and the Cayman GTS and how much better they sound than the standard Boxster and Cayman, I can't imagine how good this 911 is going to sound. But they're kind of in a pricing dilemma, though, I think, because for only 15 grand more, you can get the glorious GT3. So I'm not sure, you know, I mean, obviously the normal 911 is more comfortable, but I don't know. Hopefully the GTS will do well, but it seems like a tricky price point to me. Next is that Bentley is finally taking some of the camouflage off of their SUV that they've been teasing and teasing forever. And it looks basically like a Continental GT that's lifted, and, you know, it looks okay. You know, I think it'll probably work for them. I still don't know how many people are actually going to buy a Bentley SUV, but it looks good. I don't think they're going to offend anyone with it like they did with their first SUV concept, but yeah, I think that should be coming out next year as well. Another interesting piece of news is Volvo detailed their new engine that a lot of people have been talking about the engineering world because it's pretty wild. So it's a 450 horsepower triple charged 4-cylinder engine. So basically it has two parallel turbochargers that feed into an electric turbocharging type system, and I think it's just an insane amount of boost, and they're doing 450 horsepower out of this little 4-cylinder. It's pretty crazy. I can't imagine how much reinforcement that engine has to have to take that much boost, but pretty crazy stuff. I mean, the amount of horsepower per liter is just way beyond anything else in production right now. It definitely sets the record, and I really hope they find a really sweet car to put that in, because again, what are you going to do, just put it in an SUV? Like, they need to make that amazing coupe concept that we got back at Geneva, I think, and bring that to life, put this amazing engine in it, and we're set. Volvo would have an epic halo car. So fingers crossed, let's hope they do it. An interesting piece of news this week is that there's a report here saying that Peugeot is planning to bring their new DS brand to the US in 2020. So DS is going to be like their premium luxury brand. Think like, Acura is to Honda. This DS is that's what it's going to be to Peugeot. So they're saying they want to bring this high-end version of Peugeots to America in 2020. No kind of confirmation about what models. Obviously that's very far off, but it looks like Peugeot might be trying to come back into the US eventually, and with Fiat and all them trying to get back into the game with Alfa Romeo and everything, could very well happen. Now for a few American car stories. The first is that there's a report here saying that the next Buick Regal is going to get styling from the Opel Monza concept. So Opel came out with this beautiful Monza concept, and the Regal, I already like the way the current Regal looks, actually. If I'm looking for some mid-size family sedan, aside from the Ford Fusion, I think it's probably one of the prettiest ones out there. And so this Buick, though, I can't imagine. I mean, this, the Monza concept looks really nice. I don't know how much of that it's going to get, but I love these Buicks that they're, basically just Opels that they bring over, and I love them. So very excited to see the next Buick Regal. In some even more interesting American news, Cadillac came out this week and officially said that the CT6, which is their new flagship, the El Mirage sedan or whatever you want to call it, that it's going to be lighter than the CTS, and that they're also going to have like a hybrid type version as well. So I mean, we already were told last week it's going to have a 3-liter twin turbo 6-cylinder engine that they're going to have in it, and it's going to be the most powerful for its class, they're saying. But they're saying it's going to be 50 pounds lighter than the CTS, and they said it's going to be 8 inches longer than a CTS. So I don't know how they're going to make their flagship even lighter than the CTS, especially with all the goodies that luxury high-end, customers expect. I mean, look at the S-Class, stuff like that. Very heavy, lots and lots of toys. I don't know how. I mean, they said this is going to have the most advanced body structure in the world, according to them. They said they want to be the world leader again like they used to be. And so, I mean, obviously cutting weight is the first step to having an amazing driving car, and this car is even going to drive itself for the most part. So, I mean, it's going to be a very, very interesting car. And they said the production has started. I think they said it's going to come out sometime late next year, early next year, so the following year. So we're looking at, a year or more before we even have the final version. But it's going to be one heck of a car, I think. So very excited for that. And in some more good American news, I was always pulling for the Viper. The Viper sales have been doing bad, and there's all kinds of, doubts about its future and stuff because they weren't selling. And that really sucked to me. And then whenever I heard that they were cutting the price by $15,000, I reported about that several weeks ago. Since then, they said that Dodge Viper sales have increased dramatically, almost like they've doubled. And so they've been moving a whole lot more because they're so much cheaper now. $15,000, that's a big chunk of change. So the Viper is now finally selling well and hopefully continues to sell well for the foreseeable future. It's just a great car, and don't want to see it go out of production. I never want to see any car fail. So it's good to see that the Viper's doing well again. Round of applause for the Viper. And then some more awesome supercar news. I'm sorry, I'm getting really excited about American ingenuity and just the cars that we're putting out here. So next is that there's a rumor that Ford is going to be reviving the GT, which is the revival of the GT40. So, but the reason why is Ford says they want to get into Le Mans again. They want to get into racing and seriously, take it to Chevy and to Ferrari and all of them, and it's going to be like the 60s all over again. So really excited to see that. I mean, nothing is confirmed, but they're just saying that they want to make a race car, and obviously it would have a road car version as well. It would be mid-engined, probably V8, and I don't know, just that story in particular got me really excited this week. I would love to see another GT. I still love that car. It was so accurate to the original, but still so cool and so modern. Just an amazing car. So Ford, please make the next GT. Another cool Ford news thing is that the new Mustangs, of course, are out, and Hennessy is tuning it, and they have this new version called the HPE 700, which is supercharged, and it's running like 7.5 PSI of boost. And here's the thing, they're chasing after the Hellcat. So this car, this Mustang, does 717 horsepower. They did 10 better than the Hellcat, but it's a lot more expensive. In addition to the price of your standard, Ford Mustang GT, they add another like 50-some grand onto the price tag. So you're looking at a car that can be over 80 grand at least. I mean, chances are you're going to get a nicer GT. You're not just going to get a base Mustang GT. So you're looking at a $100,000 car, essentially, with the Hellcat being much, much cheaper. So Hellcat still reigns supreme in my book, but it's very cool to see other people are chasing it down with, you know, horsepower numbers. I love these horsepower wars. They're just so much fun to watch. And the last news story is that more good news. This is German good news though, and that is that Mercedes-AMG is planning on doing the AMG GT Black series. So, you know, they just came out with the AMG GT. It's an amazing car, and it's sweet, but they said they're already planning a Black series, which I think isn't a big surprise, but again, more awesome cars. Just wonderful times we live in. So yeah, that's it for all the news this week, guys. So since I'm not in the car, I'm not going to send it back to me in the car. But thank you guys so much for watching this weekly update. And thank you once again for all of your support. And I'll see you next week. Take care.